choosing to go in with the double Ulgrim, which is sort of like a rare thing. It's not rare to see an Ulgrim, but it's definitely rare to see a double Ulgrim coming into this, especially at this point in the year.
Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree with you here. I mean, already double ground pound from Keith is just going to steal the first
That's
off.
the way to start it right there. A double ground pound, and he's going to get the KO off of that in orange from onto Vortex. Huge work from Keith right away. We're already seeing why they're playing these two legends.
Oh my god, is Keith about to get another one on Vortex? Oh, almost lines it up. You can see kind of Froniix in the background there, trying to pick up that punish. A little bit of a miscommunication there, but it doesn't really matter. There seems to be quite a bit of a gap right now between Keith and Froniix and Vortex and Sire. Vortex and Sire are just having a really tough time keeping up.
Yeah, it seems like Keith and there's another ground pound right on top of Vortex's head. He's lost both of his first stocks to that. Let's see if Sire's just going to jump around on the soft platform here. Of course, we're on the small fortress, or the fortress blind, so we have that soft platform as the option. Sire's going to split up the blue team. Are they able to get the stock off it? The neutral air, I don't know if he was aiming for Sire or Keith to just get Keith out of it, but there's the D-Sig coming out from Sire. Side stick from Keith on the middle of the stage, and he puts damage on the Vortex as well. Keith is looking phenomenal on this Ulgrim right now.
Yeah, no, Keith definitely looking like the MVP on the screen right now. The red team can't get past him, bouncing his teammate and then running up immediately and getting that N-Sig on a Sire. It's going to be hard to come back from. I mean, Vortex is already in the deep red. Froniix probably going to start mashing some signatures, maybe some Ulgrim down signatures. It's looking rough, Sparky, I can't lie.
Yeah, there's a jump side air from Froniix on this one and a neutral. Like, good interruption from Vortex to kind of shut that down a little bit. There's a D-Stick from Sire in the middle of the stage. Gonna split up the blue team here. Can they get the damage onto Keith? Great spot dodge and then the side air after to punish Sire. They haven't found a single hit. Vortex has nothing for Keith, and Keith is just gonna 1v1. Well, really, I mean, he was 1v2ing, but he was, for all intents and purposes, 1v1ing because Vortex had nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Keith not losing a singular stock that game. Like, what do you... That's just a body bag. 198 damage on Vortex. Okay, didn't really get too much of a chance to play the game. 273 on Sire. I mean, they're getting just completely worked in the neutral game. It's rough. I don't know.
Yeah, this is it is again just game one, and it's after a little bit of a break while we were like waiting to get the stream started and everything, so it can be a little bit tough to sort of like hit the ground running right away. We'll see if they can recover back in game two, but if we're just looking at game one, I mean, come on, man, how can you deny what Froniix and Keith just did? Maybe this time we won't see Keith able to open up with a double ground pound onto Vortex. Hopefully Vortex at this point, after losing two stocks, has now sort of understood when that ground pound is coming and when to expect it, when to maybe throw a weapon toss up, sort of halt that momentum and interrupt that move.
Yeah, I'm fingers crossed for them. When the first game looks that bad, it's hard not to be like, oh man, is this just going to be like a 3-0 and a handshake? You know, I really want to see the adaptations happen from the red team, but there's just a certain level of commandingness that went in that last game that really made me think the blue team's going to have an easy time here. I mean, look at Keith on this Rocket Lance really racking up this damage. Sire already in the red. Vortex trying to swing back, but I feel like this Kaya hasn't been able to do a great job controlling space. We have a bit of a sidelight there. Go ahead and keep Keith out. And Froniix, nice. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, Sire was getting some great work done there. Froniix went with a neutral air into recovery really high, a non-true option, and Sire had a great like GC end light that he used to punish it and also get away from the move at the same time. And then he turned around and put out so much unanswered damage, getting that first stock in the game here. So that was definitely huge work for Sire. Good job turning that one around.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at how long Keith's going to hang on to this first stock. Not losing a singular stock in the last game. I'm wondering if we're going to get a similar thing here. I mean, has a lot of damage, but the red team seeming to have a bit of a difficult time just securing the knockout onto Keith. Maybe it's a little bit too evasive. He's taking a bunch of damage, but nothing that takes the stock. There it is. That down air from Sire is going to be it. A side stick from Vortex, almost enough to get Froniix in the corner there, but just narrowly getting past that recovery. But the blue team actually struggling quite a bit here. I think the red team has made the adjustments.
Yeah, Froniix was spending some time over there on the wall, and Sire was just waiting to get the punish as he came over the corner. Got the GCD light, but whiffed the side air right after it, but he still had the timing on the GCD light to begin with. He is going to lose that stock. Now he's put on a final. See if they can get Vortex off of first. They did a good job eventually KOing Keith, and now they put Froniix on final. So the split here is really interesting. I think it all depends on like how quickly Sire's going to take damage and how long Vortex can hold on to the stock. Depending on how long he holds on to it, like every hit is going to split up the blue team if they get the hit onto Vortex. Sidelight neutral air, a little bit of an interruption there on the overlap from Froniix.
Oh man, these pogos from Vortex getting answered by Keith the Poo Poo, helping out Froniix in the corner there. Amazing way to get the stock, trying to rack up that damage on Sire. But it is going to be a race, right? Is Sire going to fall first, or is Froniix going to fall first? And right now, Froniix with a slight damage deficit there, but I mean, that NSIG going to make things a little bit worse. But the blue team can hang on here.
There's the inlight. Just trying to zone Vortex out, but he's making his way back in, and he's doing a great job of hitting like one member of blue team, swapping onto the other. He's going to take 2 hits back to back there with the backside of that axe recovery that came out from Froniix. There's the down air, the GC inlight in the side air, a little bit of team damage, but can they risk it at this point? It seems like they might be able to, but Froniix is really damaged on final stock in last stock red. The red team has a massive lead right now. If they can get out Sire and then force a bunch of work on a Vortex, there's the charge D-Sig punished with the side heavy, and Keith is going to side sig his teammate. He can't risk that now.
Oh no, Froniix like barely hanging on. They need to get damage on the Sire. Sire getting a nice little team combo on the Keith. Keith obviously taking the lead here. Froniix can't get too close. Throw out the recovery. That nair to save was fantastic, but Vortex just loads up a neutral sig and manages to catch Froniix. But Sire is in the red now. This is very doable for Keith. And look at the way he's moving here, just trying to avoid these team combos. Gonna be camping this platform a little bit. Goes for a quick one there. The N-Light hits both members of the red team as well. Oh, the side air, is it enough? It is.
Dude,
we have the 1v1 secured. I think he might, dude.
I mean, the way he was able to hit both members with the lance before, now all he has to do is worry about one person, but he's disarmed. He's going to get back over, hopefully grab that weapon spawn, but the side air is going to send him flying again. Vortex really stretching out deep on this one, getting the side air for the KO, and Vortex and Sire are going to even this one up. Dude, Vortex, 766 damage. An unbelievable amount of effort coming out from Vortex that game, really clinching it for the team.
Yeah, a complete turnaround from that game 1. I mean, getting a lot more aggressive with the edge guard sequences, throwing out some Hail Mary SIGs that honestly just found the mark, right? Getting some of those stocks a little bit earlier. I mean, if we see consistent gameplay like that, then this team should hopefully have no problem keeping this competitive. But on the side of kind of Froniix and Keith, it was the kind of thing where I'm watching it and I'm like, they almost brought that back. Like it was extremely close. Just couldn't get that 1v1 clutch at the end there due to a very aggressive edge guard from Vortex. But otherwise, like there was a very real world where they would be up 2-0 right now. So I think they were kind of making that adjustment kind of halfway through the game, maybe a little bit too late, but game 3 might skew their favor.
So one thing that Keith was really doing well with his Taros gameplay in the Summer Championship that we haven't seen at least so far is specifically on his axe gameplay. He would do a really good job of dash jump fast falling a ground pound on the axe, either on the right side or the left side of the stage. And he was really good at edge guarding with that and catching people with it. We haven't seen it come into play too far, so far in this set. Like we saw the double ground pound on the Lance earlier, but since then there hasn't been too many ground pounds coming through from Keith just yet when that was a staple of his gameplay in Summers. There's a nice side sig, back-to-back side sig as well. Both Ulgrim members sort of acting like a hive mind here with those back-to-back side sigs. There's a D-Light ground pound coming out from Keith. That's going to be a full team wipe on red.
Yeah, I love the way Keith played that, going off stage, baiting that he was going to do a ground pound earlier, then retreating back to the stage, and then throwing out that D-Light ground pound to catch the recovery onto the stage. He's doing a really good job kind of baiting out options from the red team and the falling for here, as the blue team pulling ahead yet again here. The damage skewed heavily in their favor. Vortex trying to even the stock count. Opportunity for a huge team combo. Going to send them down. The down sig and the side air is going to connect, I think. That side air looked a little weak, though, so I'm wondering if that was maybe the weapon throw instead. Either way, huge damage.
Yeah, they put out 100 damage on him really quickly, and that was after like his teammate was being really elusive before, so they cleaned up that stock, and then in the main advantage were able to add up 100 damage so quickly, almost taking away this stock from Froniix. He's gonna have to be really careful, and yeah, there it is. Now can they do the same thing to Keith? Great neutral air, catching the ground pound that came out from Keith, just barely finding priority. Here comes Froniix with the sidelight neutral air, doesn't find the recovery after. A little bit of floating there. Sire's gonna interrupt Vortex. I think that gave him a little bit of a second to float a little bit longer, giving him that jump after getting hit. See if they can get this stock from Vortex. He's still living, 180 plus damage on this. He's jumping around, he's neutral airing. They can't find a KO move onto him.
Yeah, they just want that Lance side air. That'll definitely knock him out now. Almost gets it there. Vortex with a perfectly timed spot dodge though, but that down air is gonna clip him. And we do have a retaliatory stomp side air from Sire as well to keep things even. This is as close as it can possibly be. Oh, drop from that was
they
so
had both
huge.
of them. Yeah, the side light into the end light that Froniix ends up making a mistake on. There's the decent coming in from Keith. Does end up hitting Sire with that. They put out
Nice.
solid damage. Great follow-up off of the bounce pass from the neutral sig from Keith onto Froniix's side air. They clean up the stock. Interruption there as well with the weapon toss. Froniix going into this one without a weapon. He's going to be waiting for that next weapon spawn. Here it comes in. He grabs the axe. It's double axe versus Vortex's bow.
Yeah, trying to get that side light in air or just an end light to get a combo started here. But Vortex, once again, doing such a good job throwing out that down sig, going for a safe read there. If it hit, would have KO'd one of the members of the blue team. Needs to be careful in the corner and messes up his recovery. Just doesn't get the options quite right and just botches it. Throws that game away. I think he had a really good shot of potentially winning that one if he didn't make that mistake.
And we have another game where Vortex is doing the most damage in the game. This time it's not at like 766 numbers, but he's going to be putting out more damage than both Keith and Froniix did. He did pick up 2 KOs though, so at least the red team's going to split that one right down the middle. Here we're seeing that long extended edge guard. There was that side air that we saw end it. There was a nice down air, but then here comes Sire with the stomp side air as well. So yeah, we're seeing like high damage and low damage from a member of each team. High damage from Keith, high damage from Vortex, and then kind of lower damage, 339 from Froniix and 360 coming out from Sire.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna win this one. You know, Sire and Vortex look like they're keeping it competitive. Keith and Froniix now seem, when it comes down to those last stock situations, it just seems like they're holding it together just a little bit better. That's kind of being the difference here. I think this is a pretty evenly matchupped head-to-head that we have going, but they're just a little bit. It's not even a matter of like which team it's better. It feels more like which team is just happening to be playing better right now at this moment. I think there's an argument to said that either of these teams could be coming out on top here, but as we head to potentially the last game of the set, looks like we're getting some of the stage striking happening here, and I'm curious to kind of what stage they're going to go to. It might just be another Fortress of Lions. No, that actually gets removed.
We're gonna get some change-ups here. Most Eyes leak on, leaving Suzaku Western, Air Temple, and Small Terminus. So we're going to sort of the most normal of those left over. Like, you don't have the really tiny Suzaku Castle that is basically unlike any other map, but you also don't have the tri-plats coming out from Terminus. We're going into the 2-plats, but you're going to add in the complication of them like moving around just a little bit. So still like an unorthodox stage, but not the most unorthodox for sure. Yeah,
definitely, you know, saying we at least want those platforms, right? I think they're feeling really good about their platform movement, trying to keep those around. You know, granted they go to different heights here, but it seems like they're good enough at dash landing onto them. That shouldn't be too much of an issue here as we're scrambling here in this game number 4. I mean, so much damage rocked on Froniix already. Gonna have to back up a little bit. Jeez.
That's already going to be the first stock going. That's going to be Froniix's first stock. He's the first one to lose it. No one else is really that close. I mean, Keith is at a little bit over 100 damage. Sire's a little bit over 100 damage as well, but nobody's in like major KO territory unless Keith gets a big extension with the side sig like he's trying to grab off stage over on the right side. Now getting back, here's the neutral signature setting up. There's the ground pound coming in. Down air follow up after that. He loves axe ground pound on the edge.
Oh man, can't let the side air rip there because he hit his teammate. But yeah, double side sig from Froniix. Not quite enough to KO the members of the red team, but good damage nonetheless. You can see the blue team is finishing for that final blow. Nice little pass there off the end light right into the side air. The blue team closing out these stocks. Keith almost with another stock taken there. Couldn't get that side sig to hit quite in time, but yeah, they are swinging hard right now. I mean, Froniix still with so much damage racked up here. Oh, if Sire had gotten that D-Light recovery, might have been goodbye to Froniix's stock.
Yeah, their eyes are on Froniix for sure. You saw Sire going in even at weapon disadvantage. Oh, nice down air and great response back from Keith. This is going to keep everything like relatively even here. Being able to find that stock on the Vortex was fantastic in that moment.
Yeah, huge swings stock-wise like this are always a bit scary, right? Because 3 stocks on one person but 1 on the other, even if you have all 3 of those stocks, if you end up losing your teammate, it's still really hard to make that comeback. So we're going to see if Vortex falls or Froniix falls, because that'll pretty much spell how the rest of the set's going to go here. And look at that damage on Keith. How is he hanging in there?
I think he might just like try and float around and neutral air a bunch or stay grounded in side light neutral air. I don't think he wants to grab the axe because he probably wants to save that for his next stock, so he comes in with a fresh axe. There's the D-Sig. He's finally going to have the option to swap over to that axe, or maybe he doesn't even need it. Maybe he's feeling good enough on his lance. Froniix's lance is doing really good so far. Added up a bunch of damage on the Sire as well, but he has to stay in this, and he's going to eat the side signature from Sire, and now it's Keith in the 1v2. It's 2 stocks to 3.
Huge misplay from Froniix there. I just didn't prioritize getting this floor touch, so got pushed off stage again, making that side sig that we saw pretty much guaranteed because he didn't have any resources to really mix up with. And so now Keith having to make the impossible possible. I mean, even stock count wise, but one team combo from the red team is all it really takes here. And a team like Kai and Taros is so good at blowing up stock off one opening. So one end light, one side light from Vortex, that could just be the stock for Keith.
Dude, Vortex has been doing so good at playing around Keith. Sire's been kind of taking the lead here. He's also taken a couple hits because of that, but then Vortex is ready. He's done a few great spot dodges as well to like avoid the nairs coming out from Keith, and he's done a great job finding like a 2-piece right after his teammate gets punished. Oh, he went in with the neutral signature. Keith actually backdashed away from it in time, expecting Vortex to come in. So a fantastic read from Keith, but is that going to be enough? No, the 2-piece ending in the bow recovery, not enough. Going to swap back over to the spear and the hammer. Sire just needs to stomp side air.
Well, Keith is playing this so well, has both members of the red team in the red. I mean, even if you lose the stock now, you're in a pretty good spot. And kind of the thing that works in his favor here is if he gets tagged by something, well, not a stomp, I was going to say like another stray move that doesn't knock out, it would actually send him far enough away where it's almost kind of better than being in the white, because the low knockback you're going to receive now is going to make it so much easier to be team comboed, and Keith knows that. Just kind of hovering around these platforms, gets the axe. I wonder how much he's going to use it though. I think a rocket lance would be better for the 2v1, but doesn't really want to play without a weapon for too long. Trying to play the slow and steady wins the race, looking for something to punish. Nice side air.
There's one. The
Ooh,
whiffed inlight on Sire's. The whiffed inlight from Sire into the follow-up side air. Dude, Keith,
oh my
Keith
God,
has them running scared. He's got one. Can he get 2 to win the set here? The inlight from the middle of the stage. The weapon toss goes low. Another weapon toss goes low as Sire's up. Great neutral air. Keith was coming in with the ground pound. He was coming in for the finishing move. Here's the hammer from Sire. He has weapon control, but the unarmed recovery from Keith is going to clutch the 1v2. 726 damage. 5 KOs for Keith as well. Keith the Poo-Poo and Froniix are going to be moving on into your grand finals, guaranteed top 2 spot. So we could have Keith win another tournament, and we could have Froniix win another tournament after the team split up from Keith and Vortex.